It is now time to allow our salutatorian from this year's graduating class to address this gathering and salute her graduating class. When calculating the highest averages in the graduating class in order to determine the salutatorian and valedictorian, I was struck by the fact that the two individuals you will hear from next are also two who come to mind when our staff think of students with character and virtue. It is really something to have an outstanding academic achievement. You know, when your average is a mere 96 point something or rather. It is a whole other level to do so while also dedicating your time to altar serving, volunteering at Our Lady of Victory Camp during the summer, performing in the band, curling in your spare time, and doing whatever is needed of you. Ladies and gentlemen, let me please introduce the salutatorian, Miss Sarah Hoven.
Good afternoon, Ms. Smith, Mr. Morrison, Mr. Schreiber, Mrs. Ostafachuk, staff members of Holy Trinity Academy, family and friends, fellow classmates. I am honored to have the privilege of speaking to you all today. Thank you. When Mrs. Ostafachuk asked me to speak earlier this week, she requested that I make a salute to the class of 2014. As I began to formulate thoughts on how to achieve this, I was initially clueless. Being a nerd, my first inclination was to do research. After sifting through the Google search results for salute by Little Mix, I found some definitions for the word salute. As with all words, there were many ways to define it. My favorite is to show respect and recognition. So here I am, standing before you all today, attempting to acknowledge and appreciate you, my peers, and your accomplishments. From my research, I also found some interesting statistics. One boasted that in 2010, 72.6% of the students in Alberta completed high school. Congratulations, you are 3 out of 4. The reality is that we are the norm. We are in a majority. We have not done anything special. High school is an expectation. High school is something that follows the inherent progression of the education system. Let's be real, we were forced into attending high school rather than staying home to read an invigorating nonfiction book, posting selfies, going longboarding, or watching cat videos on YouTube like most of us would have preferred. So again, we have not done anything special. Not yet. I do not believe that a high school graduation is entirely a celebration of what we have or have not done over the past 3 years. Up to this point, we have been average. And I do not mean to discount the value of high school or the exceptional efforts of our teachers and parents. It has been a wonderful average. It has been full of surprises and successes and challenges. We raised an insane amount of money for the St. Florian's Foundation. We have done well on impossible physics tests. We have enjoyed the muffins at the cafeteria. We have participated in crazy theme days, and we have enjoyed trips all around the province and even the world with different groups and teams. We were able to be knights against the comp. We had a superior October in May. We watched Claire make the game-winning three-pointer, and we closed the curtains on yet another marvelous musical production. Even so, we are just like thousands of other high school students who made great efforts and great memories. Right now, we are at a jumping-off point. We are standing on the edge of a moment where we are being forced out of this comfortable bubble called Holy Trinity. We now have to choose whether we will be mediocre, typical, or even extraordinary. We all have the potential to fall into any category. We are all able to decide how special we will become. We all have different strengths, different skill sets that will define our role. Take Star Trek, for example. Spock, the first officer, is the intellect on the Starship Enterprise. Always logical, basically a genius. Dr. McCoy has an unmatched medical prowess. Scotty has the technical savvy to keep the ship running even when under alien attack. Captain Kirk is the leader. He knows how to delegate, inspire, and even acknowledges that he isn't always the smartest person in the room. Everyone aboard the ship has different but complementary talents. They all know what they are gifted with and use these skills to their fullest potential. At Holy Trinity, we were able to delve into finding our skill set, and perhaps not all of us were able to discover what our gifts are yet, but that's okay. We are not a part of the enterprise yet. We have the future to find our place there. Leaving high school means we get to figure out what this skill set is, hone it, and maybe even master it. At HTA, we were all a part of something bigger, contributing in various ways to the culture of the school and classes. We all became a part of the body of Christ. We were all able to work together and come together in solidarity. The Apostle Paul describes the culture of HTA perfectly when he says, "There should be no division of the body, but that its parts should have equal concern for each other. If one part suffers, every part suffers with it. If one part is honored, every part rejoices with it." So that brings me back to my salute. In seeking to define salute, another word with the same root popped up, salutation. This word had a few definitions that struck me. A word of greeting, wishing good upon someone else. What was particularly striking was salutation as a phrase of greeting that conventionally comes immediately before the body of a letter. This reminded me of those business letters we were forced to write repeatedly in junior high. The salutation was the point where the letter really started. Before that, there were addresses, which serve a significant purpose, but once you got to the salutation, they were pretty irrelevant. This is that moment. High school was important, but now it's over. Now we get to write the rest of the letter. Now we get to start the good part. I look forward to Facebook stalking each and every one of you in 10 years, but until then, class of 2014, salutations.